Sir, President John Dramani Mahama had a statement to be Abetua Bontene. It's exactly 6 p.m. That is 11 p.m. in Ghana. All right. Now, President of the Republic John Dramani Mahama had the Asem Abetua Bontene. Now, what is it about? President Mahama orders forensic audit into 13th All-African Games. Auditor General to submit report by second week of December 2025. President Mahama ede emra anase waka asem a sasa na waka no ose Auditor General endi samra no so na o make sure say All African Games 13th All African Games na omoye no Ghana no omote committee bi mo hwehwe sikasem nim na committee ni di report koma President Mahama no na President Mahama said no die ohun ne die I was see domu suko. If you say any nyan, enti or the report no ediama Attorney General. Sorry, Auditor General. And I catch Auditor General say, oh mano till December, second week in December, onye be a friend forensic audit. You can say forensic auditor. Kratano onye ni bako. Na ompenipa lie biano omun steady figure biano omundi chiri. Se 10 Ghana ne yi wa ha also mu die chira ko hu die 10 Ghana ne yeye ene ehun fa so e ba ye se yi 1 million a omundi echire enya bibia fa forensic audit you can say forensic auditor o ka se we 10,000 a o se ondi 10,000 echi nko hu ade pot ya 10,000 ne yeye and sa ade pot no se eyeye a ena ehun fa so ye nyaaye enti wa hye Auditor General no say All African Games now under NPP Nansenya almost spending almost close to $260 million. All African Games no Nanseng. President Mahama said Auditor General any forensic audit by second week of December muno on first report in Mreno. Now okay say Auditor All African Games unuska almost spending here. I'm spending close to $260 million. All African Games. No Legon Park. Now World Cup cry this World Cup. Sa All African Games way and yet say Bediatuo yere eduania one day oje $1 million. Mokai. The same All African Games 15 days no Bediatuo yere from the allegations and the documentations about now Bediatuo yere oje $50 million for 15 days or yeduane 15 days. One day be oje $1 million. Now ade we yeduane ma Somalia for any omon kraman any omun nendwie. So mugu say why yeduane de koma Somalia wo de fa from afa car afa plane e de koma Somalia for now de bia ma omun nendwie kura na udi bi esiwo astore. Are you going to spend $1 million a day on food? Now, Ebia Murefi All African Games, dear in Sambia, Omokekaye, there's the All African Games. A
monumental disaster and total embarrassment to our dear country. The Akufo-Addo Bawumia NPP government spent a staggering $240 million on the just ended games. Yet, the organization and management of the event was poor and shambolic. Quite apart from the fact that it lacked clear combined effect of economic viability, the organization of the games lacked clear-cut policies for tourism, promotion, and trade facilitation. We also approved 100 million Ghana cedis for goods and services for the LOC for operation this year, and then 50 million Ghana cedis for CAPEX for operation this year. So in total, 150 million Ghana cedis. And if you work that in dollars, it comes to roughly about $12 million. Now, the LOC is spending $48 million from the extra money. You have spent so much money and you have failed to deliver on what we all wish. How many will not be happy to see our athletes compete in this year's Olympic? that is going to be held in Paris this year. And you will see the number of cameras and viewers across the world who usually patronize us, the Olympics. And if we really understand the economics of it, if we appreciate.
So you see, you won't damage in no. So China forensic audit we ba na Attorney General STT brief Ghana for adikudientia ochidi pebia in no be start. The Attorney General is judging cases on social media. Whoa. They spent 100 million cedis on just goods and services. 100 million. And they spent 50 million for operations. Operations on what? Dan kwekuya boa. Akoya and the team will for the name fee or ko and say Jani. Omina discanibi. Dan kwekuya boa. Akoya yo TP self mia. Ono okoda committee bi so first one and your pamono. Dan kwekuya boa ya. Why say jibi. Omina discanibi. Time tijano a blakwa start here expose no and obetina peace fm dan kweku yebo ajimijimi we akwawe akromfo
so sebi ben kata sebi mpo mo ye
yeah
sebo mfa nkora mo fanye adwuma
we dey omampeni be kasa ntie monitor. First of all, let me respond to the release now honorable okuja to the babonte no now for other questions we are near the atwaso Africa edikan honorable okuja to here one member of parliament I really admire, and on the floor of parliament will make very cogent analysis. We can save Ghana football. Na me born say or make it very intelligent analysis. But maybe the who say season na a woman tea and a money be or the buy because the intelligent okuja to I know the argument no the year analysis ne bu out to me say we the any da because Africa Elosia yete no October 2020 almost 4 years na yedi. Now say your calculation now ka say LOC operational budget no ebia 18 cedis. Now African Games no be hosting from the 8th to the 23rd 18 days. Until say ama LOC 18 cedi now person who how much LOC did in a day there. You divide 18 cedis by 18 days. For me it is too simplistic. Because untumi nye sa analysis no say with the days na akana ye be host games no divide Ghana when you no aka say ninti LOC ne dey bia yes when 33.4 million Ghana 33.4 million Ghana is now unmahi what do got this game 33 billion as of no a day now the day bia you come and say well is well I think say quite apart from that no I say a TSC African Games no Africa it's expensive and young one say ye independent 1957 na omampanin bia ntumi host African Games no unlike FIFA ne CAF ukwaje tournament na ono atuma osika for preparation no African Union rather takes money from the host nation. Ye sign protocol agreement ni wie ye no almost $2 million na omuji free Ghana nchen just after say akobe this year be host no which is a cost to the country. Africa ye host to 29 disciplines. 29 disciplines no ubeto equipment ama obia anti taekwondo a ubekra ho equipment say China na ubekra say Dubai say Tokyo ubeshipe ube bedu yi e de ama omo say hockey sticks ubekra every federation bia na equipment bia no obligatory so man no okra na otua ho ka Africa anti-doping eke wo ho no according to WADA Ghana ni standard laboratory me van say Kofigo na wako to American ye suspect say wafo edura ye fan sample na Ghana is not allowed by WADA to take it to any laboratory. And you could you believe African Games near by no the first sample is new year they dey call Switzerland laboratory akwahwehwem na say the results aba and the WADA standard one follow obeyi ni nsa say games now obey no world anti-doping and send him and the moment obeyi ni nsa pe to go game because we have say the athlete be ma ko open ya betu mponko America. And no imagine say no kra ho cost yesen what are the officials ba e say ultra ticket plane ticket business class mo bia afiki yenya inaugurate yellows ni wie ye no na technical committee for the African Games nso ye te eno no ye AU for na artist committee no Omo adwuma ne se omo supervise games no. Ti omo ba inspection. Ne no more rounds from day one. Or baby or beji business class ticket. Or baby or better hotel na obetua. As we speak, games ni ndu so. Last week no mba town. Omo da hotel o man ni tua. Afiki transportation. So apart from air transport na obetua business class ni ade no. Ese o rent buses and Land Cruisers ni saloon cars to organize the games. Odi obi nsi abontino nko bisa say o rent Land Cruiser back a day ya jo sen. Now we rent over 300 vehicles. E dey transport ni pa nye one day o. Be 2 weeks. Afiki ehun ka enya sem ketwa. Catering over 5,000 athletes ni officials no. Obi abedi di anopa ewia ewumre e Ghana ka. Now we money pa 500 cross say your party ofie mo ma. Go bisa event organizer say cost that no the bebrew. We are no eto nchen the day-to-day running of the LOC, even media, Nanzia, yes, semini, Yakoji San Lodge, ye di buffet can Kobisa San Lodge or the chair. And in no clear woman say, African games, young fancy team say, cow. Oh, many I been say, Obio Casabio, ye, Sibiano, Unia, a cromfort. Sana Okoda, a committee biso Black Stars on your Pamono. Chrono, sa. Ena omuni nemwa ye NPP aba ometena radio so a na omo kasa tie nipa na omo di Jimmy kakra na omo de ye omo start the kasa no wonder on African games no president bi eni wa wetume hosti no start ye nkwase politics ekufo na hosti yate sibia watwe wa no tintin a wo chechire nsemu yi ye de ko gina ko ta betima chechire mu pa kromfo hwe enkonfo we omo didi Ghana ho saa nimsam wagimi saa na mo start yo omo no go Black Stars the boys we saa boys we akwa me despite since so omo go radio nkurase for boys we mu na go Black Stars no mu no mo start say asamodwan adwene asamodwan is a fine gentleman. I've had my own issues with him. In fact, I advised asamodwan when he was getting close to the NPP and I was telling him say they would destroy him. The little investment he has no omo be say no because they are bad people. I don't hate asamodwan. The debate about whether he's a legend or not a legend was my opinion. But Asamoah was a fine footballer. Yeah? When Asamoah started coming up, we started who Asamoah and Asankwasiafui and penetrating Asamoah. At a point, Asamoah did not even respect John Mahama as the captain of the Black Stars. When Black Stars were at the World Cup, it wasn't the boys' fault too. It was these people. These were the people, no more can some good boys in the team. And it's like Kevin Presboatimo by Obo who said, "We're more leeches." Into also gangue up against Kevin Presboatimo because Kevin Presboatimo they have the European training. They expect to say, "So I did the table, so I can say the table, so men can say we did not chakra." So they felt to say, if they are not able to get rid of those people, it is our boys' way. They ganged up, they destroyed the boys. Sir, Dankokuya boy on any group, no, they destroyed Asamoah. They destroyed Bafojan. They destroy majority of our players because I am konkonsa any Jesse Omubenya any Kakro Benya Film Korano. So the boys, no, if you know Asamoah from those times he used to play Accra Academy. Asamoah will be made to you people have no idea. Asamoah na our Accra Academy. Tamane bo eye interschools no Elwak no. I was there. Tamana Asamoah born. Asamoah grew up. He grew up as a very humble boy. And time be a star around the world. He was still humble. Until boys were penetrating here. Asamoah was still young when he became a millionaire. These are the people who destroyed Asamoah. And they made the boy a political player. At a point, let me tell you, time ago World Cup Asamoah Kobo, a penalty to we know that Tornado was at his prime. Now he was almost exiting soccer. Asamoah, the confusion in camp. And a young Asamoah or no these senior players these boys and the boys they infiltrated the camp and they set the young boys against the big boys. They set these young boys and they go to the camp. They enter Black Stars camp. Hotel room. They are so it is a Black Star in Tokwesi Black Star camp. When the boys go to their hotels, these are boys who are entering their hotel rooms. No, okay, we want some. No, okay, we want some. Teniba Kwana na ajuni nyejuma to same Sule Muntari. He didn't take that shit. So at a point, they branded him because Sule Muntari Oba
Tom Jesse Mao. He came to work for his money. If you're not going to be principled, he's not going to be principled. Into these Asante 4 boys, Akam boys, you know, they are the ones who destroy the NPP, the Black Stars. Look at what they are doing today, Ayo. And I'm going to carry side their way, and the other side about rap politics. And I'm going to be all African games into the Casano. All African games are expensive. Expensive. Then, since Ghana, your independence, President Tibian to me organize it. He is trying to shift the idea, say, Ekufuado na aba organize all African games. Into so mu disika kra ye. Into our NPP ni biano. Your talking point should be that Ekufuado the buy near all African games. These are criminals. These are thieves. Into Black Star say, you know, into recently that wall was built because Jordan Ayo no more chance. I'm be run hotel room and be konkonsa. Eh? As some go see Brazil. Now the players were demanding. The president of the republic was on the phone. I want to talk to the captain. As someone can say, no. How dare you? And you can't blame that young player. Even though he wasn't a young kid, there were people who were telling him, the pressure. The president is protecting the integrity of the country. The president is trying to also keep the country's our excitement. What should he do? The whole world is looking at the team. Now the team is saying we are not going to step out and play. The president wants to just talk to the captain. Asamoah said no, because these boys were there. They were lying to the young man. And this before. The boys didn't even understand what was happening. So the president had no option. And one of the greatest mistakes John Mahama did in his political career. And he did it because of lack of experience. Because at that moment, John Mahama was not supposed to allow that to happen. They were supposed to walk back home. Then later we will know who disappointed Ghana. Because you see, how can a president just sit and say, players are going to Brazil? The president wanted to negotiate. The president wanted to speak to the leader of the team. But Saboys way, you people know them all. They were the ones putting fire in it. The world is waiting. Ghana is doing well. The next day, the Ghana team does not show up on the field. How is it going to sell? You people in Ghana were all going to turn on the president. This is a young president, John Mahama. He wants to please his people. He wants to please his nation. What should I do? And this is what these people do. And then they pay all African games. Okay? Let me show you this. All African games, they spent $4.5 million on accreditation tax. Within our Kevin Taylor, or your reporter, $4.5 million. $4.5 million. They spent it on tax. Tag, and and the second I say, me a journalist from a radio way, me report my way, I'm spending $4.5 million. $4.5 million. How many journalists covered this event? How much was a single tag? Tags. I design you kum $4.5 million. Now, Kwasia we have radio so kaso kujato the minimum no is not intelligent, his intelligence and it's all your way. Kwasia, these are people who are supposed to be in jail. Ghana soccer, I say, Ghana football, I say, Dan Kukuya Boy in the group Akron Fongwa. I'm not my side boys in the breed. As much as these boys, they are mature to take decisions. Mamika be binchro. When you go to a place like a football camp, the level of influence, it does not matter how old you are. Maybe you have not been at a football camp before and at a national team camp before. In Tobeka say, oh, Asamoah Gyan, he was old. He's supposed to know. Let me tell you, the politics that was going on. The politics that was happening in that Black Stars team. Let me tell you, Boga. So, they will never tell you the truth because hotel room player room $500. Sa sikana na boys insist wo Brazil lo sade ndie no. Physical cash no. Mumbusa dankoku yebo am so say. Boys in Romu no di omochi Jack ma me de ba me. Obekono say sade te say mponkomba. And that is what they have done. That is what they have done all the way. All African Games we rim. Yebusa will say All African Games. Okuja tabla kwa abe expose. Afeo kache say the internet say Ghana president bi antumi nya. Inte Akufo Addo tuma yate. Almost spending $4.5 million on tags. I don't have any tag here. Yeah, they are saying ukum. I am here juma wo radio way. Me juma wo 4.5 million. 4.5 million. Mamenchro. All African Games now, John Mahama say MBA forensic audit. $15 million was spent on feeding athletes during All African Games. $15 million. $15 million. They were in Ghana for 2 weeks. They were in Ghana for just 2 weeks. You feed athletes. Say athletes number 5,000. There was a picture. There was a video of the athletes complaining about Adriani. Some of them were not getting food to eat. I spoke to people who were part of the organization. Some of the athletes were not getting food. I had a video and I've done this story before, right? Besides, it's in the archives. I wish I can find this. Accreditation, 17 Ghana. Okay, accreditation was Ghana, 17 Ghana. So that time, $1 was 17. Into accreditation, one BIS 17 Ghana. No, almost to me spending $4.5 million for accreditation. So, almost 2 weeks, $15 million. I'm trying. I know. I have the videos. Me bo video no hatch them. Me bo video no hatch them. All African Games, athletes did not. Athletes, no omuko sala and omunye duane ndi. On the ground, send me the videos on the ground. I am trying to get the videos because I remember very well. I did this story and I played those videos. It's in the archives. Because it's in the San kwasiafo na money to Ghana and I'm also almost Ghana. Say Nkofo, they are dangerous people. Because you try and go through, you might find it. I have the videos. I don't know where we kept it. Me bo videos chama na athletes anopa omu complaining chaotic place. Obi anya duane ndi. $15 million for 2 weeks. Now athletes na anopa bi etwa ntwe mo omowe. Oh no, all my explanation. No. I doping. See if I dope now. Now say yeah, obi doping tester. Or see the cost Switzerland. You cost testing. Into you do Switzerland. You're like oh yeah na. Oh man, I tin. And now omo discuss more time still. Upon sika omo di. Konkonso omo di. Still more time. Yeah, I mention. The reason why John Mahama say MBA forensic audit, they paid GBC $3 million for coverage. Sasika na humba asamono. Almost some my GBC $3 million. GBC so to show no program no. GBC to show. Almost some $3 million for coverage. And you for Asante for konkonsa for. And you see, sometimes no, semetra no, na me can sembia. And a man for you say, minim they make me. I know these people. I've worked with them. Anything I'm here be so I'm correct ni ja omo ye we na say they konkonsa omo diska. How can you tell me you spent $4.5 million on accreditation? Jesus Christ. How can you tell me that you spent $4.5 million? $4.5 million. NOB Kano. Burkina Faso did not get food for 3 whole days. They had to go out. At a point, some of the athletes were taking Uber to go to the stadium. At a point. Eme busa dankoku yebo we say some of the athletes you who so man say for taxi the organization, you know, the people who were supposed to be in charge of the transportation, there was a mixed up. Me see omo di sikadaba no mo cheye ekufuado ni nebusuafo Bediatuo ne yire omo from what we are seeing and the allegations going on, they took $50 million and omo so they may be amonye we ba no den sabum no ko we ba no be $8 million omo wie no omo say e ka ye boy ye $240 million. Hey, like, in go for we pa na the ho ti Ghana so NPP so. Na enkwasiafo we so mo ye campaign 2028 ye beba power. Now when ya small girls be. Small girls. Now to TikTok. They mi hu ba ku bi. Osha space ojeje binisika. Na no tantan bi. Yen edi ma mi echi Kevin Taylor no or ya de bi minim se minim so your ba so e be ma small girl bi mu tantan bi o hwe the space so ogigi binisika and Kevin Taylor no or no e se o say NPP no se se any ba o mi na edi nechi enti mamu am se hwe bi hwe de waye utimi want to be so pony at your age u di NPP echi hwe de waye wa fe for ma e so pony baby hair ultimate and support in your baby hair or space and time me go TikTok say we so ye den we so de den abran hu bon de be ni na ye di ba o mi echi and I'm say sankwara we they don't even they warm da ben they doesn't even understand diaper bono kro on tiase me say eye tampon o se de ndia e hye no on tiase onima de konti oyo ba yeni ebeji ba omia yeni NPP for enti yeni no na me say na hu peace bi no tan so ballers we kura na we mu no na ye betie nkofo edi akoden edi akoto abama NPP no ogina ono anka se ogina ono that person a tampon say na wato ono anka tampon say na wato de ahye ne to tampon say na wato ne ho nka wetima bre ne ho nka asen onim se ne ebika se oba bia oba sima ondu sa level no po ono be kire Ghana na dedi ba omi echi enti ba omi na be president hwehwehwe bibi ne ho bon atadwe and these are the people and the NPP number so lower omo na mo say omo lead the NPP campaign ye na ye kasa ye na edi ba omi echi $4.5 million ehia for ma omo busuom since say ye ti wiase omo busuom nya $1 million da or the question say ba omi na be power na o she space bi I say otete abetia ton wo KVIP so tan no wo tan and I'm say how did we get here? How did we get here? How they don't even understand the issues. They don't understand. Ya umi Asante ni intermediate NPP ni ya ntiasie me hwe ne sams mu na nka motete no ye kowo na se yedam kwan so ne ye kowo na emu wa na ye di preko di echi amu na ye di ahomaso preko amukuta preko nim se na be a preko ne nte nenum kan okasa na ha ba ko hwa kese bibi basabi we mun tin teteno na ye kwa ko a ye nananom ye kwa ko ye ne denchirafo kokko a na ye di preko edi echi kwa ebia nipa ni bi wu am preko na awia om de ahoma so preko no nsa kon preko na we mu na gutem we mu om nkontokwa wo om brem preko ase ya da na dwunom di preko ko edidie ahomachefo na omaba omakobonwa we mu no omabonwa ye ko dware a sapo na ye di twetwe na ye di amomo akuta we mu ana we mu na be convince Ghana say yenya den yentu abama ba omia na wo tampon e bo to no wote ase. Do you understand? Mo de mo jimi a hu
2 bashi 2 pelekes 1 bashi 2 pelekes 1 bashi 2 pelekes 2 bashi 2 pelekes
una we kranye 2 bashi class 2 bashi we tawuro I want the pink, the price, the pure case.
Two bashi, two pelekes. One bashi, two pelekes. One bashi, two pelekes. Two bashi, two pelekes.
When I wear crying, two bedsheets, class two bedsheets, where? Towel.
Towel.
I want the pink, the price, the pure case.
Towel. Two bashi, two pelekes. One bashi, two pelekes. One bashi, two pelekes. Two bashi, two pelekes.
Nyamani bi wa hu. Ana atete. Ana ya tete. The NPP na ye nimu no. Se NPP ni e di obi begina menim abeka kira kirem se opon nkwase se woma ye nyina no mintia makofa atadwemma. Atadwemma. Tampo etu omotokro mo ntiase. Onima de friend obasima. Ono na obetina TikTok abekire me se mentuma ba omia. Irade nyago. Charlie. Nipa fun nipa just omu a ohu omanim from omochi omugina omochi a iso omanim ugina omanim a iso omochi just ohu omu shape ohu bibia just omu ye nipa moseso ma etwe pony ba ku be hu na se gold is the seal meto wanum kankan sa gold sa hye wo se editi kumase edi ye MPP for na we gibi na he baby awadui okasama ba omi asem ya MPP ni aketesia te sewo utumi soponi wenyan so be rasta ana wako anima udi rollers ahye te se de ochina obeye na baby awadui gold sha wo se enum kankan ne rekoje power gold de bia na nigu onum gold no na nigu onum oti apatase odam ceiling ase ye kapa no ye phone no ase na wo no de na wo ho a ebe mo bi agita maka se we de onim nyansa na wo papa na wo da wo te entabudan mu no onim nyansa nka wo at the end of the day san tabudan nka tim and ba wo mi asisa bola so nkwara we bola so numa entadwemma and bibusa mo say enti we mu no o me convince Ghana for say ye nto aba ma ba wo mi ani MPP mudi omagimi o wo nyina mokui part 2 mokui part 3 mokui part 4 utumi hu oba nim gina TikTok say ya na ya kasa last go hu ba ku bi Kevin Taylor no se sia no mohwe ne ye pa obese o say party no de oka akire ba omia ene de oka Kennedy no oka ma Kennedy na me hwe oba wabasa se tabono wabasa se tabono ena mentiase ena Kevin say hey Mr. Wabasa se tabono na nipemu peace o enye se bia full human beings bi o nipemu 75% 63% and just nipemu 38% nyina it is a TikTok ye ne kasama ba obia ene entiase am hey mu nipemu 38% nipemu 67% mu nya full human beings mu share nya nipa just say bibi ntra bedside lamps ena ye ne ebe nti mu na modwen sam be kasama Ghana for ato yatim say abayua we die ampa onimnyansa mekoto ma ba omia hwe na wodros yesen wo wodros wankasa wodros a watu bottom sika to yesen okogina wa wodam na wo kan wodros a yesen ana mumbusa mo sa questions no ansa na betra TikTok say ye be kasa ma ba me say ana mo ba mo say me dross ye du fruit of the loom 7 ana chenchina 3 wodros yesen ekire car 2 ema yesibia ka say transport ende part ni wa wo ye den who are you, what do you do? J Kufuor Krampa or the party no eba power first no and the NPP for buni so kwasi pay J Kufuor na or ye adwuma nyina the party ba no ye take decision kwa ye mfre no J Kufuor Ekufuor ne nkofo di Kufuor attempt sa akwara ye papa Kufuor na mo di jimi echi a na obehu omo samprekete mokui omo nyina say India from basa we buka mu we bu pese mu de ne sin ji bullet omo ye wonwaran I say India movie bi miss we mu na de ba obi we mu na mo we mu fruit of the loom ma we ewiabo gidigidi na ta na mo draws at we mu jack mama jidwam na mempon we mo jimi kura story bi wo ha bo me nhwe ya see A+ Eddie Grace Jones fruit of the loom ma ewrade omo twaye omo smell bi omo ho adwa me ho bondie smell bi omo ba omo de oba omo fie na omo kwa wo se gina dem ho san kuna wo di ba omo echi no omo smell bi omo ho ye fe no me ho bondie on sa smell munim sa smell no guy for munim Jesus sa munim I say me ho bondie I say me bu me nsa me huru me hu ye me hu bondie say san kuna we omo nyanyan omo sa smell no bi MP for nim ye ne kasama ba omia e na de me we mu me hu bondie fu obetra o couch no mo kwa tete me nasre gina dem wo we mu isi omo dware enye shower wo bucket enso ohwegu no hu say enko de to ase egu no hu say na ekofom na apepa no ho na gofuo we ohwie bucket otam ni say na ohwegu ni tiri so enti enko de to ase unimo basema ubenya abotre at this your age to treat yourself, to clean yourself, to smell good, to be a woman. I said, "Abi, you know, can be a maba omia. No, na mufutrum, no na maha. Na unime be mframa wedua. Me see so me famo so age no. Na enkwara na ene omo nante no. Omo ho ti. Akwara osoponi. I to say yes, waso. Mo ni nam Ghana to soponi. O de ba omi aba power. Omo to bomb bruta. So omo betena couch 3-in-1 mu na okotena kona ho na osore kona ka say oh yeah oh taking nap na wano uti koto ho. Omo kan na nkwara we. Moto ken ene be koma ba omia ena we jimi ena we ntina sam we dia onya me se wabasa se shoe panie wabasa se shoe panie Jack umi njum se Nasir Allah
kai mutumin zango ku kabani wanganga abu ya fita hannunku ku kabani wanganga abu ya fita hannunku Nasir Allah kai Allah ba mutumin sango da kuka bani wanganga abu ya fita hannunku na rasa da Allah Allah ne ba kun wahala mutane ba su fahimtar mu ba su kun wahala mutane ba su fahimtar mu kun wahala mutane ba su fahimtar mu Allah mutane ba su fahimtar mu duka bani la ilaha illallah
Allah so bro Allah wala Allah Allah so bro Allah I would never envy you. I don't even want to be in your position, Allah. Hey! Allah so bro. All right, now, Mommy Uncle Grace Jones. So, Grace Jones, you see A plus a petition parliament. Say a year Grace Jones. Why's the summer? I like the back. You see A plus also or a member of parliament. You need him come A plus. Also, I'm telling you what I say. What petition a year parliament say A plus petition speaker for removal of Abena Oseasare as PAC chair. Besides, get me Abena Oseasare's local video. The train. A plus say on TSC, and honestly, I don't know what Parliament would do, but at least morally, A plus is making a legitimate case. And the reason why I'm saying A plus is making a legitimate case in NSA, whatever decision Parliament take on this matter, honestly, I don't care. But at least for I do maybe I will say nipa chere say sebio yemubi yenyamwa. At least I will say nipa bi chere say ye nipa nko ade I will say man nipa su hu say yeso ya dwene. And I believe say this decision by A plus no morally it is right. Because mami we 90% of nipa na mohwe me Ghana. Na munim se 8 years Oforiata ye finance minister. So Oforiata extra budgeter oni mami we na extra. Oforiata sign contractor oni mami we na sign. So Oforiata etu kwanya, this woman was basically the substantive finance minister. There is no dealer Oforiata is signing with Ghana. This woman for 8 years. For 8 years now. Now, Oforiata this was the woman who was deputizing Oforiata. Enti adibia na Oforiata ye biano na mami we Grace Jones na onim. Now, isn't it shocking? Say abaya sisa. Na right now no ye toto eye aban indwuma kuo obo mo da no ano wo de omo beto ye sika nipa bi ewia eye NPP fo na omo hyehyɛ ho. Remember this Grace Jones na oye appointee say SOEs, state-owned enterprises omo no mo ye CEOs for various government institutions and ministerial appointments at the bank of four. Enti the damage that was done under Ekufuado CEOs be area sika various government institutions, this woman technically was the head of finance, deputy finance minister. Now is it not shocking? Say abaya sisa na as a nation ye pese ye hu eye sika nkofo wi free ye ho krono omo boy ya. The person who was paying the money to them, the person who was the finance minister, is the person chairing a SAR committee. How are we going to get to know the Obo Krono? How is she going to allow? Because the more you expose in conform more Ekufuado abemu, time na on your finance minister, you expose your ma urban side the more ye be in the tunnel, na ono so mu say in conform to be, and the more ye be in conform the tunnel, na Grace Jones so ne true mu be. Inti morally, why do you think say Grace Jones better na waka say? Mema mumbia nkofo ni trum na mba bia biso mitrum emo den obetie ni saa ai say nyumre choba bia atutum ai ntie plus say how can we allow the thief to be overseeing the interrogation of thieves? Because you see the interrogation in the committee it is not omomuti and the anu no e de omo beto ye it is Sam George beto Ministry of Communications so obi beto DVLA ejuma obeto ye no inkura MPP for the boy no enu na odi wons komo a kire wo se de me beto ye nie na kronfo na obo ankofo emomu wiaye no eye na oma kronfo de betena so onu mom bebusa se ne nyonko kronfo no na owia ade ana. So A plus say it does not make sense. It looks like say a Jumana committee ni park ni it will not yield any result because Kronfona or lady in Kronfon Ketuamamo say department and see a state-owned enterprises Sa Kronfona oversee omuja mess no or then able to Obiano say Nipani mum or no the Juma or ye. Sa Grace Jones way where on earth will a government or a nation tell us to say, Nipana run Ghana economy down? This woman was the finance minister. Time Omka se Kenoforiata, send liver, send kidney or pro. This was the woman who was the finance minister all the time. Do you know that? Time Kenoforiata yare I can't say Kenoforiata onto office or America. This was the woman who was the finance minister. Or finance minister for 8 years. Na sanku when yuma enso ekufuadu eni. Se krono na obono enso ekufuadu eni. Se nyoma na omo ye no se enso eye Oforiata ni a. Why would Oforiata, a thief, why would he work with you for 8 years? Unless say you are the person protecting his ass. Etimami way ono na etafri Oforiata to a we si peg. Oforiata nkwasi asema na oye nyina no na maami we nim. Nti A plus say na den ende yeta maami we ma metra park say chairman. Na onfani Jimmy ntina ho na krono ono abebo ye no. Onsa metoto nkofo no say ontiasie say e ka beda ho. Na kwasi aba wo wa ban na de sa aka beto ho. Den ye yi ni say ono metra ono no mabusa nkofo questions. Nti that's what I'm saying say morally A plus is right on this. And say your maya you cannot cry nyansa. Sir Grace Jones we will not allow her to be the chairman of this committee because Mami way the mission you want protect enkwasiadia krono jirim ni nkwasia jimi omuye no. That is her job there. And into the Endra Sam George Ekasa Oka say under who your leadership as the deputy finance minister sikasema ese Ghana. Or quicker, ni Jimmy better or say, oh, honorable, don't mention names. Now you say Sam George can say, from the good work you did, and Kasa and Ma don't go away, and Kobe and I say, don't mention names. And Kobe say, thank you, Sam George. You know I did a good job. Nehene, any nonsense scientist say, Bolga confirm. Sam Army way at it one holding Kwasiasam. Way Grace Jones way, yes, so song Kwasiasam so Ghana. How do we fight corruption when we allow thieves? We ja ni ase de ho be chewo mo hu nyenyenyan se eye Egypt fo na nkwase mo NPP communicators mo hu nyenyenyan se Egypt na nkwase dem we ja intiminya dem minjai obodam ko bia wo de now inti A plus asem wo ka no nyansa wom. Why are we keeping this woman there? Mami we bedi deputy finance minister for 8 years ade otumi koye woni krom entina meka se e kro na ofiri mu no Manisi sumina so me assure say do no mtoma no mo jimi. I'm telling you. E krona mami we MP wo ho no. Me se manisi sumina so because enyo mu nyina na toma no. Na sanko fo mtoma no man tina parliament no omo jimi. The reason is mami we ade otum koye ma ni kuro after 8 years being a deputy finance minister ni.
We nyina ye honorable abra osai asare na nisu ade hu na da yesumu. Ana amaye hu ne ehu. Honorable Abna or Sayasare, and the dire son, and this one, I don't know. We are here behind a trail. On one or two, and or Shisha, and who was a baby. But we are in Germany, Papa for Germany, Kumasi for Germany, and you mean Petra for some Mama Germany. Honorable, there's something you might be doing. Honorable. Mami, shirao. Shirao. Why are dear? Why do you know say me have a cassetiana? Me cassetiana that honorable or bantampa na kuma. Chese, send me a near my con. If we are sending near my con, who say no for now. You need something to entertain yourself. You need something to release stress. Who say, what training man for whom say no? Dear Koso, we are saying, make us a Ghana coin. Make us a Ghana coin. We are saying united. The whole world be a complaining. Honorable who says, send a Ghana for near my Koso na be a ye na be a same. You release stress and no penny idea a bed.
Yes, a bodam. I say, moi. You say sometimes no what we tell how what we catch on say okay, we dey my men respected. I see a bottom. Shadia okoye on kuro mu no. Grace Jones. Shadia odi finance minister 8 years no. Na nanoma sa ko salai say nyame nhyira wo ye beto aba ma wo. Na yenye nwan. Yenye mpro. Are we insane? Go away with him to pay. Your body pay chilewa with him to pay. Or the deputy finance minister for 8 years. And the woman the told den ne ton kase ye. Who are you? I don't understand. Then ni kuru gu lego ne maso. Ni kuru lego ne ma ogwom sento bro. And look at what she took home. Now, dear me yane say e krom ofo no na mum kokurafo ne papafo amwo a mosimu munim nyansa no. Mum penifo de bi na amwo na mosimu nyini. Na Kevin Taylor di atam na mosimu de nyansa adore mo no. Tankwasi ade we na makotenemu. Edane na ebeto wutiri so a wawu. Na yedi nkofo we sisi kura no se empenifo na ebeye den na kuro na koso. Waye yeda de we abesiwo enye permanent o sa tutu koye. Sa de no de be no enye so de be kuro mo permanent o obehihye no mututu o masa tutu loko no ko eni ho. Ade we Grace Jones.
When you are honorable Abra or say Asare, the Miss Wadihu, the Diasumu, and Amayahu, honorable Abra or say Asare, and the Diasone, the Miss Wadihu, I don't know. We are here behind a trail. On one or Titi and or Shisha and the baby, but you are in Germany, Tapa for Germany, Kumasi for Germany. And you mean pressure for us, Mama want to money. There's something you might be below.
Honorable Mammy, shut out. Why are dear? Why do you say, me have a cassetiana? Mean cassetia that honorable or Bantampa, Nakuma. Just say.
Unim the constituency of the Eastern region. The constituency Etiwa East. Etiwa East. Eno ye MP ho. Etiwa Eastern region. No free Ekufuadomo area ho. Obedi deputy finance minister 8 years. Deputy o. Oni oforiata the run Ghana sika sem 8 years. Etiwa East, here the numbers. I mean, show election number, here the numbers. The show say Etiwa for ni ebi Jimmy a ose meta obi medi obi atem here. Here numbers o nya here. Oko Etiwa Easter, Grace Jones, here the numbers. O wade o ye mom. Omum bi Jimmy nkwala ni mpenifo. O ma say nwan. Adan a ye de ye wo Eastern region nti, ye wo Etiwa East nti ye beto am NPP. Here 2020 onya 21,175. And this no only nya 6,000. 2024, the numbers not drop about 17,000, and this is 5,000. Jimmy, you can help them, and I will not sit here and say metiha because of Etiwa East for come ya boa. Na mo amuti kromo mo Jimmy. De mo no nkran no ebi no mo no mukromo. How many years am we abedi MP? Mo me hand dan won kran. Ni kunu mo me e dan a mo si won kran. Hwene nkomu nkase ohum semu ye nkurasefo mo agimi mo dodo na muti kuro no mo agimi into mo use mo obeye deputy finance minister for 8 years oba besia sebio wawo oba besia also or abadaye we twen si one hospital amakuro no ana muti kuro mo na mo pese mo wa na mafese moa mo pete kuro mo pese mo nia mo ne se moa muti kuro mo nyansa Mufan to abapa and a yeto ya wait what is ya MPP for and my am saying come one amuguo into every election biano ya dear odia ponche kraba e beto na otriti mu se moa na odin say sa Grace Jones we sa loko ye oyema mu ono obetinem bodin say loko we so ono wawo a obema de ba tinem loko we se bema bi edini won chen a oji so ma be na trim obeka say no, don't sit in this. Say neba ejina ho say neba no kofo sa say don't go there, it is dangerous. Sa na Grace Jones beka che ne baba obeka che ne baba ma Sa loko na mo ahemfo mu titim na mu jimi mo ho no. Se ono ne yemu ba of because no, that is dangerous. Ohum se mu jimi. Ohum se mumu bi mu jimi. Omumo 8 years in parliament. 8 years as deputy finance minister. 8 years. 8 good years. Ade o de brebo krumo na mo ye nipa.
When you are honorable Abra or say Asari, the Miss Wadihu, the Diasumo, and Amayahu, honorable Abra or say Asari, and the Diasone, the Miss Wadihu, I don't know. We are here behind a trail. On one or Titi and or Shisha and the baby, but you are in Canada, Germany, Papa for Germany, Kumasi for Germany. And you mean pressure for us, Mama want to money. There's something you might be below.
Honorable Mammy, shut out. Why are dear? Why do you say?
We know Satu to call anyway. For 2 days. Now, Utiwa East. Edu Jimmy to what did me matter? We Jimmy. 2 days, 24th no the buy, 25th and opa. Omuka sorry by no 2 years say they honorable say fanko. Oh, I honorable say 2 days. Oh, me man tell me bio. And I said about after ne. Oh, nanke go from the crab. I send in your back no. In Tobra, I know what a betiafi. I feel no do. You can say we are crowd bro. Now I'm trying to cancel what to 2 years. Say honorable say you do. I say oh. Me afro di kro ma me on di kro nkasa na we de motutu ni ntam dodo odi o se na de si e se honorable say ye ntutu ayi no loko no o se o moment twen kakra na say na the 25th ye kwa sori aba ai me na ba ko eyi bo acha nsa onam kwa so ba o meduru ye ade honorable so nya botre kakra mai na honorable ba mo me ne nkasa ye Jimmy na honorable ye friend na pin wa block obo kwa nkwasiafo o se o Mr Engineer we de esrew ha de ha ne wo nana mbedifo bese account 2 and account 9. Odi krone ne nkwase be obu be agi loko. Obu be me yentutu loko. We front to my ebu be wahye Whitechapel. Ahye hwewata aso, unim hwewata aso. Sa nika white bi no mo hye na tetene edi ko eyie no ahoma eyi lines red and blue bi dan chen no. Ye fere hwemata aso. We front to my ene wahye hwemata aso wa ase. Unim hwema. Wouldn't you mataso? And could you just nika no, nika na you have a pan with the quay ye no. Escafono, and on a sauce white be, and a side and side, and a ye red and blue be woho, your friend Shamataso, and no, time I'm the quay ya. Yenya na ya papa was scano, na wallet and a shamo back pocket. Inti Sunday wallet and I mean, wabubosi cash at the back pocket. Inti girls we ye na say. I was say a ya papa for a cacao woman simno. Omucha girls they say, Yena be beware home. Inti eyentuma no mofra no sa gabo ha inti osa no ayentuma ni sei inti ntuma no mu bie pe no na to akire o se hwamata aso eni ti ne fresa ni ka hwamata aso odi kro asa hwamata aso eni we fra ntuma egu so odi ni Jimmy protect loco agwa baboda.
My lord, it's me. Sorry, my lord, it's I. It's I, Lawyer Kutajmi. Please, my lord, can you give me a time I explaining things to you? The case is old case. It's 1978, 28th century, the case. But it's not now the case. Thank you, my lord. Yes, please, my lord. My lord, it's...
A man is 4 years as older as his son. 10 years later, the man will be 3 times as older as his son. What is the man's current age?
Please, 80 years.
80 years. Your next question. 3 men do a job in 7 days. 3 men do a job in 7 days. In how many would 5 men do the same?
Sir, 4 days, 48 hours.
4 days, 48 hours is the correct answer. KTI. Remember your question. In a box, there are 4 apples, 6 oranges. What is the probability that the first fruit pick is an orange?
Please 0.6.
0.6 point answer for president. Your question. How many arrangements of 4 letters can be made from the word love? How many arrangements of 4 letters can be made from the word love?
Please 24.
24 is the correct answer.
Even now with oh, remember for remember 7 if you want.